Welcome to Declare's Delight for Life. Hi, I'm Andrea, the Sensible Lady. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Declare's Delight for Life. I help with the sensible and sensible, and I help you declutter the clutter in your life. Tonight is about how to have effective communication that will change your life in a positive way. You know, these are one of the principles that I look at as dealing with the three principles of life. And because since communication is such an important thing in our life, we really have to know and understand that because I know from experience not being able to effectively communicate made life very ineffective for me for a long time. And when I was not able to do that, life was extremely short. And when I found myself being able to do more and give more, I had to learn to communicate in a positive way because I had always communicated not so nice and in a negative way. And you know what? I would hope you guys out there would come to some understanding yourself and realize that no matter what, in your life, that things can change because of effective communication. To me, effective communication means that we're able to, um, communicate better with our relationships, with our people at work, and all sorts of things. Because for far too long, sometimes when we haven't been able to communicate, I know for myself, I let me tell you a story that when I was, I had a head injury and I couldn't communicate my needs or my wants. People thought for me and I couldn't think for myself. It was very difficult. And for me, I didn't even know what to do. Life was too short. And, and looking at that, there was so much in my life that I didn't understand because I couldn't communicate. Life was so much in a situation where I wasn't able to do much. But I didn't want other folks to make decisions for me because I couldn't communicate. You know, you know, sometimes it's hard to communicate our needs and our wants. And when you learn to communicate your needs and your wants, you realize that when you learn to communicate your needs and your wants, you're able to find out what you really want in life. And that's a biggie. I know for myself that when I'm able to communicate my needs and wants to people, they have a better understanding of who I am. And that's important. I would hope for you guys out there that would be important to you and help you declutter into the new you. And when you're able to declutter into the new you, you're able to change. I would hope that, with this, that you would have some understanding of why you've had such difficulties in life, that because of communication, needs. I always look at communication that you look somebody straight in the eye and you were truthful with them and you're honest, because I find that honesty is extremely important. And when you're honest, you're able to realize that no matter what, people can't come back at you and say you didn't tell them the truth. And you never have to remember what you said to another person. And when you don't have to remember what you said to another person, then you had a whole different way and a whole different perspective on life. And in doing so, you open yourself to more positive ways of looking at the world. And that's extremely important. I know for myself, I realized that for far too long, I was negative, and negative in the way I talked and the way I had talked about people. You know, you know, you have to stop and think and realize that we sometimes just flap our lips and we don't know what's coming out of our mouth. And when you don't know what's coming out of your mouth, people wonder who you are. But when you think and you realize that one of the keys to effective communication is building relationships with folks. I don't mean superficial relationships. This can apply in business, in marriages, with friends and family, all sorts of relationships. And when you build those relationships with trust and love and compassion, your things are so much greater and better. And I would hope that you guys would realize that, uh, you know, one thing I have to say about communication. Communication made me realize that I had to have appreciation for life every day. And because when folks understood where I was coming from, it was like an attraction magnet. And when you're an attraction magnet, you're able to find positive ways to interact with folks because communication is the key to a lot of things in life. When you don't communicate, you have problems at work, you have problems at school, families disintegrate, people divorce, or communication. What if we stopped, looked, and listened and realized that what it all comes down to is truth? And that's what I like to let you guys know. It all comes down to truth and being honest with folks. I know for a lot of you that seems quite simple, but to me, that's what it's all about. And I always find that, a lot of folks, may color, their lenses of their glasses because they wanted to see things a certain way and don't think people are listening when they tell something that's not right. And I don't like doing that to you guys because you guys have followed my story for over a year and I've given you so many personal details because I find that in sharing it with you, I would hope that it would help you and help you declutter into the new you. And I would hope to end it on this note that look, listen, stop. When I mean look, I mean look at yourself and what you're saying, and then listen to what other folks are saying. And when you're doing that, you are being more effective in communication. And then when you stop, you realize that what you say to people is extremely important. I'd like you to take those thoughts and hopefully think about them until the next time you see me. Have a great Declutters today. I wish you hope and peace and tranquility and hope and love, and let there be a light in your eyes, and blessings to you all.